thinking back, it really just Canon who actually make these kind of camera. A crossover between mirrorless and cinema camera. It looks kind of like a mirrorless camera if you look at certain angle especially, but then it's unmistakably a really hefty workhorse cinema camera. This is the C80. Last time look at the C70, which is, I was still in Hong Kong, but this C80 isn't a big replacement of the C70 because the C70 was the APS-C size sensor, which is in cinema camera terms Super 35. Sounds a lot more professional. But this C80 is a full frame mirrorless. It's a full frame. Oh, it is mirrorless. It doesn't have mirror. It's a full frame cinema, 6K cinema, Canon EOS cinema camera. So it exists alongside the C70. It says C70 there because this is a pre-release camera. Canon asked Kai to cover the C80 mark there and he put C70 there. Clever. And this is actually a baby C400 because both of them are 6K full frame. I was going to say mirrorless camera. Cinema camera, but both use CMOS stack sensor, so the rolling shutter performance should be really good. Both of them 6K, as I mentioned, full 6K full frame stack CMOS sensor. And what I was going to say is that I forgot. Oh yeah, they both got 16 sort of dynamic range. One thing interesting is that the C70 actually got 16 plus stop. What's interesting is that the C70 actually got 16 plus stop dynamic range because they have the dual gain output. Yeah, they got the dual gain output because what it was that it got dual gain, dual base ISO, but actually the camera taking both ISO gain at the same time. So the processor will combine two images into the final image to give you less noise in the shadow. I think mainly it gives you less noise in the shadow. Forgot to mention there are not just 2 but 3 base ISO. Basically a new high base ISO 12,800. Whoa! Now these days a lot of cinema camera got really good autofocusing. This one got the dual pixel CMOS AF2. The last one, the C70, only got dual pixel CMOS AF, not 2. This got 2. And something new is that now it detects animal. Well, for animal, it's just dogs and cats, so not birds. Actually, let me try it. Actually, it do work. Kind of, it don't detect all of them. Kind of work. Well, okay, it's only 2. If I press left and right. Yeah, that's one thing I realized on this cinema camera is that the same as C70 I tried it before last time is that the autofocusing, especially subject detection, feels like it's not as good as the Canon still mirrorless cameras. Just like this really simple test, when the face is big in the frame, it works okay, focus on the eye, but when Kai turn around and it don't detect anything. I feel like other Canon still camera can do that much better. They said the C80 now can detect body, but we just can't get it to work. When Kai went close enough, it just straight to detect the head. I didn't get the screen recording here, but it just can't detect the 2 humans over there. But yeah, the funny thing is that it works okay with animal, with my cat. When it can't detect her head, it detects her body. So let's look at the camera itself, which is, as I mentioned, it looks really similar to the C70 before, but it's just a little bit taller. But the width and the depth is almost exactly the same. And it's a little bit heavier. It has built-in ND, just like the C70. The built-in ND mechanism, it was new on the C70, which is that it has ND 2 to 10 for you to choose from. This is so great for someone like me who used to just mirrorless camera without built-in ND. This is so convenient. It actually has 3 ND inside, 2 stop, 4 stop, and 6 stop. So in the menu, you can turn on extend ND, so it gives you 8 stop and 10 stop. How does it work is that when you choose 8 stop, it uses the 6 stop and 2 stop combined to give you 8 stop. For 10 stop, it combines 6 stop and 4 stop. So for the extend ND, 8 stop and 10 stop, you actually got 2 ND stacked together. And in the camera, it will warn you if you are using manual focusing, it will warn you that focus might shift. On this side, you will see that it has the mirrorless style EOS grip. One thing I find it really interesting on the grip is that SD card is here. And it takes 2 SD cards, which is a good thing that, as I mentioned, this is a baby C400. The C400 takes 1 SD card and 1 CF Express because it takes full frame 6K RAW internally up to 60p. So it has to use CF Express. Spec is really close to C400, but this only do 6K up to 30p. The thing is, when you use 2 SD cards, you can shoot 6K RAW into 2 SD cards at the same time. You can't do that with the C400. For example, if you're shooting something that you can only shoot with CF Express, that means you can't use the SD card at the same time. Something interesting is that it got a window on the flap, so you can peek. Is there a card in it? But I don't know why there's a window. It feels like those it's not a film camera. You can peek out, do I have film in it? Especially you got a light on top to tell you which card you're using, which card is recording. Someone let me know why there's a window on there. There are tons of customizable buttons, 13 of them. This one directly control the ND white balance button, and then you got a custom white balance button because when you shoot video, you would use that a lot. On this side, you get direct toggle for waveform monitor, zebra, peaking, and display mode. On top, it's a little bit different because on the C70, you only got 1 cold shoe for mounting the handle as well. But here, you mount the cold shoe, you mount the handle on here. This is actually, I think it's easier to mount something else as well because the C70, you got that thread inside a cold shoe. But you also got a cold shoe, but this is not any cold shoe. This is a multi-function shoe, so you can use those Canon shotgun mic or the Tascam XLR adapter, or you can just put on your other Rode mic, whatever. And something a little bit awkward is that at the back there's a selfie screen. There's an fully articulate screen. I mean, for camera this size, there's a really fragile thing that dangle around at this side, especially if you use an external monitor and you still want to access your audio control. You still have to have this screen out. You have to have 2 screens at the same time for what? For just to access the audio buttons. Let's talk about the ports. There's a lot of ports. HDMI, full size of course. And by the way, I like this cover. I like this port cover. These are much better than any still camera covers. I don't know why we can't have these on a still camera. This looks great. It looks like just part of the camera. I guess because there are so many of them, if you use most of them, there's a loads of cover dangling around, so you can pull them away and put them back. Something new, SDI output, which when I say something new, I mean the C70 doesn't have this. Mini XLR output, 2 of them, and then there's 3.5 millimeters mic input as well. So in total, you can have 4 channels. At the back, there is an Ethernet port and then a barrel DC power port as well. So you don't have to use any proprietary power connector, whatever. This is just a barrel connector. You can get any 24 volt AC adapter for this, or connect this to some of those power bank. Dual power at the same time for long period of shooting. Also the same as C70, there's a air intake here because of course there's an internal cooling fan, so you can use this camera in the most hazardous environment. Air intake here, exhaust from here to warm your hand, or the bottom to warm your crotch. Maybe. One really minor new thing is the electronic leveling, because it's compared to the C70s as well, because weirdly C70 doesn't have that. So this is a C70, no, this is C80, which is just like the C70. It is probably the closest YouTuber like me could get to understand. C80, what do you think? Leave your comment below, argue with each other or something.